Welcome back, everyone. Just to say a little thank you to all those who are connected with me for so many years on my social media accounts. I'm making a small gesture. Here is more on it for you. So contact me. Remember, this is not for existing clients. So existing clients, please don't message me. But those who have never consulted with me, but are here connected on my social media accounts and are watching me, following me, this is for you. Contact me. And like I said, you'd get a small guidance and session at just 600 rupees. So let's continue with September. September is a critical month for many of you as it brings a conclusion or a turning point that gives you the clarity that you have been seeking for the last couple of months. With a powerful lunar eclipse, which involves Venus, there are some important placements happening in this month, which is going to impact you. So let's see what this month is bringing for you. And before I start, as always, I would like to thank my Jyotish gurus and my spiritual gurus for always guiding me. I'm truly grateful. If I mention a particular sign, it's for your sun sign and for your moon sign. You can also study for your ascendant sign to some extent. The first 4 5 days of this month can be difficult for most people as you experience confusion, emotional turmoil, and lack of clarity. Remember, in this month's predictions, I'm not coming up with stock market predictions, but I have tried my best to include some important insights about the stock market within these predictions. So, listen carefully, make your pointers about the economic changes that are coming in this month because there will be many, but specific stock market predictions are not included for this month, and I'm sorry for that. Many of you are also dealing with pressures around money, work, business partnerships, collaborations, or within families or with father figures, which is the first now, which is basically now the beginning of this month. Things will begin changing post the first week of September. So, first week of September is bringing some confusion, turmoil, and issues around these for most of you. You are now moving forward, which is after the first week of September, you're moving to a more favorable zone where you have the ability to manage things better and pressures have reduced, or you have a better strategy on how to deal with them. This month is especially crucial for the signs of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Leo, Taurus, and Libra. So, if your sun or your moon sign, or even your ascendant sign, is any of these to some extent, this month will bring very important, impactful things for you. The time between the 14th and the 20th of September is an important time for most people. This is also an important time in the current affairs of the world. There are some important changes happening in the government relationships around the global alliances. Globally, there's transformation or important changes happening with alliances between countries, trade alliances, and even geopolitical alliances. It's a time where countries are focused on improving trade and economic relationships, and many new alliances are going to be formed. There is friction happening in many regions as well. It can be a difficult time for many regions, but the governments are making sure they can create harmony by bringing in some fundamental policy changes. And some important announcements are being made. Due to all this, this is an important time for the stock markets and economy in general across the world. The global stock market, the economies is going to see a transformation and many changes around this time. There is some critical movement happening across the students or the youth of the country or countries or for many regions. There can be some attacks or incidents of violence among student groups or on student groups in certain regions, and the government will be quick to take actions to restore peace and harmony. These few days is not the best time to travel. So, which are these dates? All of this applies to which time? I'm talking about the middle of the month the time between the 14th, 15th to around the 20th of September. That's the time I'm talking about. Avoid travel around this time. If you've got children who are studying away from home, tell them to be careful because, as I mentioned, it's a critical time for students or in youth in general. Either this is a time when they are getting involved in, some sort of protests, some sort of incidents that are basically standing against something, or there is some threat to them, or maybe some regions and some countries will see some attacks being done specifically on the youth or on students. These few days, again, as I mentioned, it's around the 14th to around the 20th of September, that 1 week, 5, 6 days time. It's not the best time to travel. So perhaps you can postpone travel plans to a later date if it's possible. Some of you may be experiencing problems in personal relationships around this time. If so, peace and harmony will be restored post the 20th of September. In fact, I would recommend for many of you, especially for the signs of Virgo, try and travel at the end of this month. That is a very favorable time for you to travel. In fact, traveling at that point is good for you, especially if you're traveling for spiritual purposes. You're taking a spiritual trip, you're going to a place of spiritual significance. It's a great time. It's a great time for you to practice spiritual, modalities like meditation, chanting, spending some time alone, sitting in detachment, or giving away kind of food. Maybe you can be vegetarian. Maybe you can abstain from heavy foods, have a more sattvic diet. Following these alterations, especially for Virgo Sun Moon Ascendant, will be very, very beneficial around this time. Harmony and peace will be restored post the 20th of September. Many of you will experience positive changes or gains around or after the 20th of September. The last few days of September, and as we are moving towards the month of October, there can be some health crisis in some regions or some countries, and some disruption against the government or protests can again come up. It's an unfavorable time for many political leaders or governments across the globe. The financial markets will also see major fluctuation around this time. So now I'm talking about the end of the month, literally the last 3 4 days of September. In spite of these issues, young businesses, startups will manage to see gains, and there will be some positive momentum in the markets. For small businesses, the small cap or small traders, many of you will overcome fears, confusions, stand up for what you truly feel passionate about towards the end of this month. So, finally, those of you who have been confused or who've been holding back or who have had some pressures will break free from all that and stand up and follow your dream or follow your passion as we move towards the end of the month. You will truly move forward for the things that you feel passionately about. For some of you, it will be relationships and you will move ahead with them. For others of you, it can be businesses, dream projects, or other dreams and aspirations. You will have a feeling of having faith in love and finally overcoming difficulties and move towards what you truly feel for and what you truly desire. September is a challenging month which will impact every person's life in some form or the other. It's best for you to stay observant and calm in this month and keep making choices that work best for you. Keep a long term view in mind. Stay sincere and mindful of your actions so that the coming time can bring the best results for you, as this month has the ability to bring you the turning point that you have been waiting for. So, follow my advice. It's an important month. Remember what I have mentioned, the dates and the advice, so that you can make the most of it. If you want predictions for your sun and moon sign personally written by me, then subscribe, download Astrokanu and subscribe, or subscribe on my website astrokanu.com for monthly predictions. This is all that I have for you for the month of September. I'll be back with predictions in October. Till then, take care and have a great month ahead. If you want to connect to me for that special discounted session because you have been here following me, this is your chance. Email me, connect with me, and it'll be done. Thank you. Take care. I'll see you next.